Hey, Flau'jae, are you taking the ball to the hoop more than you did a year ago in terms of your scoring? Are you more confident in driving and finishing maybe than you were your first year?
Um, yes, because of just learning different ways to go finish, not just running people over in the paint. Stopping, popping, getting to my euro and different things like that. But it's just like taking what the defense give you. Like Coach said, just shot fake and go by them, and that worked. So just kept doing it.
This is for both players. Talk about your third quarter. Y'all come out in third quarters in games and just absolutely blitz people. I mean, I guess you get some wise words at halftime from Kim. I mean, what happens that we all just kind of really turn it on in the third quarter?
During halftime, we just talked about communication defensively. We knew that we had to switch. There was a lot of screens being set, and there was a lot of communication that had to happen.
Yeah, I think just getting a feel for the game, like in halftime, I was like, okay, they showed us what they got. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we're gonna keep getting beat by the same thing, or we're gonna start talking and communicating. And it was just really fun, like to see like us come out, switch and get those steals. And I was like, oh yeah, our defense is getting better. Just even in that little moment right there, us being able to do that, like that's hard to do against them because they're so smart. Like it's not like set plays; they're like reading you. Yeah. So if you turn the wrong way, they're gonna cut. If you back up, they're going to flare. So us being able to come out in that third quarter and get those defensive stops, I feel like that was a big momentum turner for like the whole season.
Yeah, kind of going off that for both of y'all, Coach has obviously been harping on the defensive side of the ball with y'all. What was it like tonight going against their shooters, and especially for y'all in the front court?
I would say it challenged us a lot, as you all could see in the first half. It challenged us a lot, but we're determined to have each other's back and to get better as a team defensively, and that's something that we have to do to be one of the best in the conference.
Yeah, I think for me, I was looking at it and I was like, this could be like, you know what I'm saying, like low-key kind of like Colorado without like that post play that Colorado had, you know what I'm saying, because they got the quick guard and then they got the shooters on the outside. So I was like, we really learned from that game, and I was just knowing that we was all going to make our mistakes, you know what I'm saying, working on defense, transition defense. Nisi yelled at me one time because I didn't get back, but you know what I'm saying, like it was just a big game for us defensively. Like when you're playing shooters, I feel like that's like the hardest thing to guard, you know what I'm saying, because you can't trade threes with twos. So I think we did a good job like managing that.
Flau'jae, and I want to get your perspective on this, Aneesah, as well. Second quarter, the block you had on one end, and then that leads to Angels and one on the other end. Give us your perspective on it. What'd you see and how'd that happen?
That one play taught me a lot. Not gonna lie, because I was so tired. I did not want to run back, but then I was thinking in my head, Coach Bob not finna catch me on film behind. So I was just like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm not going to hit her with my right arm. If I hit her with my right, I'm a foul. So I went and hit it with my left. And then that just shows you how one play can change the whole momentum. Like, going hard for that one play can change the whole trajectory of a game on defense, not even on offense. So I'm glad I did that, and I'll definitely be doing that more often.
I felt like that was our momentum boost for our team. After that, it was just running in transition, and, of course, that bucket by Angel, the N1, that helped our momentum as well. But I think Ford just didn't want me to get on her again.
Yeah, for both of y'all, with how hard y'all play, with the pace y'all play with, y'all both played 38, 39 minutes tonight. What is it like for y'all to try to maintain that for 4 quarters?
For me, I kind of learned last year. Like, I was in a lot of big SEC games, and this year I just knew how fast it was going to be up and down. I was looking at McKay like, you tired, eh? Because I was just like that when I was a freshman. So, like, just being able to gut it out. You know what I mean? And this is only going to be good for us because we're going to be in such good shape. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be able to play these minutes and play hard. That's what wins championships. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you don't take those plays off, when you don't have those lapses because you're tired. Once we get that in check, like, I think we'll be on the path to becoming a good team, like a great team.
Yeah, I would second that. Coach Mulkey always say, especially when we're gassed in practice, it's the fourth quarter, and it's like you got to suck it up. If you want to win at the highest level, you got to suck it up. Like, we understand that you're tired, but we have to come together as a collective and get the job done.
Facts. And she always say these 2 quotes: "Fatigue makes cowards of us all," and then my favorite quote, I gave everything I had, and what I kept, I lost forever. You know what I'm saying? So when you put it in perspective like that, it's like I gave everything I had in this game, and if I didn't give another inch, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't get that back. So it's like put it all on the floor.
Aneesah, how was it for you, this being your first SEC game?
I was excited. Actually, my biggest goal for tonight was to get my 1,000 rebounds. I knew that. And I would say going into the game, I knew that I had to defend. That was a big focus as well during practices, defending, talking, getting through screens. So I was super excited tonight.
Got time for a couple more
So you
questions
get your
with
ball
these
the next home
players.
game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
For both of you ladies. Flau'jae, I know you did this last year as Aneesah. This is your first time, but going from the non-conference slate, entering into conference play, just talk about just maybe the approach and mindset, just maybe the last day or two in practice. Like, did it feel a little different before you guys knew you were going to start into conference play tonight?
Yeah, practice was intense. It was hard, man. It was hard. It was so hard, but we felt that energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coach Mulkey, right, she gave us the energy in practice, and like it's 5 dogs on the floor at all times. So we kind of felt like, yo, this our time. Like everybody always say cupcake schedule, like when we play somebody, like we really have to put it on the floor and show who we want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not there yet, but if we dogs, we gotta be dogs.
Yeah. I would say the intensity and the attention to detail was more focused now that we're going into conference play.
Finish with Jess in the back.
For both of y'all, do you feel like this was more of the complete game amongst y'all as a team?
Not complete because we didn't do what we did in the third quarter for 4 quarters. I think when we have that defensive presence for 4 quarters, we locking down for 4 quarters, we're talking for 4 quarters, that's when we'll have a complete game.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. We can't just play well and defend well in the third quarter. It has to be throughout the whole game.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Flau'jae's a hoot, isn't she? That kid has more joy in her soul than anybody I've coached.
All right, questions for Coach?
You mentioned defensive intensity yesterday. What did you see from your team today?
Let me give you the good with the bad. We're still giving up too many points. And this may sound petty, but that last 3 bothered me because that last 3 allowed them to get their average of 9 threes a game, and it also put them over 70 points, and that matters. We want to hold them to 39-9 from the field, and we didn't do that. We did it in 1 quarter. We didn't do that. A lot of that is credit to them first. They have a lot of older players. They run a system that's hard to defend. We made changes in the third and fourth quarter to switch a lot. So I don't want to take anything away from their ability to score the ball. The only thing that's going to make us better defensively is just to continue to work at it. We are, the good thing about tonight is you got to see the majority of the players that are going to get most of the minutes play. And the more they can play together in practice and in a game, the better we will get. So I thought the intensity was there. The will was there. Fatigue set in early. And that just is not unexpected. I think everybody, when you start conference, everybody's just really hyped and excited.
Coach, what I'd ask Flau'jae about her points in terms of driving to the goal and scoring more in that fashion as opposed to hanging out maybe at the three-point line and shooting from there.
Well, Flau'jae got so many minutes as a freshman last year, and it's allowed her to mature and become more comfortable faster. She's just a sophomore, and I think that she saw opportunities against their zone to just put the ball on the floor and go by somebody. And she and Angel are the two most experienced ones I have out there in this system for me. And I think that from start to finish, Flau'jae was outstanding tonight.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about just the unselfishness that Michaela Williams plays with and just how she's not only able to score but to create offense, especially in points where, the offense goes cold?
Well, I've challenged Michaela a lot because she's so effortlessly good at shooting the three ball, the mid-range jumpers, and when they're not falling, do something else. And you better have your hands ready because she's going to throw a bullet pass and hit you right in the face. She made just superb passes last night, but that's part of her game. That's not something I can teach her. That's something she came to us with. Getting in shape, a freshman. I always say freshmen make their biggest improvement from their freshman to their sophomore years. Let's wait till she's a sophomore next year and watch her. As good as she is now, she has no clue how good she's going to become.
You mentioned that leap from the freshman year to the sophomore year. In what ways have you challenged Flau'jae to improve her game and do the same?
Not turn the basketball over. Flau'jae wants to do things methodically, and sometimes in this game, you can't be methodical. You gotta do it on a dime. You gotta come off the dribble and you gotta deliver passes. So don't turn the ball over. What she did last year that a lot of them do as freshmen, they think the world revolves around shots. They think the world revolves around, oh my gosh, I've missed shots. She's trying to be that all-around player. She's trying to get you rebounds. She's trying to guard the best player on the perimeter for us because she does have the most experience. If you're counting her, she and Poa have the most experience for us on the perimeter defensively. So just making her a better all-around player and making her understand that you're not going to play a perfect game. A great thing I'll tell you about Flau'jae, and it's going to be in my next book. Last year, early in the season, I take her out of the game. No reason. She probably didn't even mess up. And she put that towel over her head. And so game's over, and I get in the locker room, and I light her up. I said, don't do that. That's bad looking. And why did you do that? She was upset, I'm sure, because she came out of the game. So I looked at her, and I said, Flau'jae, did you think you were going to come here and play 40 minutes a game, every game? And she looks at me, and she goes, yes. That's the innocence of Flau'jae. She now understands you can't play 40 minutes every game and all that. She just has always been able to do that. She just has a joy about playing this game that is just contagious.
Kim, I guess I'm going to ask you another Flau'jae question, but I said it during one of the exhibition games that I thought that she looked, even before the season had started, that she could possibly be in for a big year. Just how close is she to, I guess, really realizing that, if Angel's having an off night or if Aneesah's having an off night, that she could be that consistent player for this lineup to help you guys achieve what you ultimately want to achieve?
I think the message that I will deliver to her is be that consistent defensive player for us first, because she has so much talent around her. Who you going to guard? Haley, Michaela, Flau'jae, Angel, Morrow. Guys, we scored 92 points tonight. And we weren't on fire. How many did we miss to start the game? I've said this from the beginning. We can score points at all positions. We just got to get better defensively. And I have to make Flau'jae understand you got to be that defensive stopper for us. You got to be the one that that block shot down on this end, guys. That's Sports Center material. And she and Michaela's reverse layups, that wasn't just a normal reverse layup. That's athleticism.
Yeah, Kim, this is kind of off the beaten path. The NCAA and ESPN announced a 8-year, $920 million deal today, and $520 million for the women's NCAA basketball tournament, exclusive rights. Just can you put that in perspective for you, having coached and played all these years, trying to get exposure, and now it's like people have waken up and realized people are going to pay premium money.
I saw that before I came to shoot around today, and everybody's going to keep their job with ESPN, it sounds like to me, right? ESPN's been good for the women's game. And it excites me to know that they fought for it. It meant something to them. And I haven't read the release. I just saw the headline. I knew it was up for negotiations. I knew, it was expiring, and good. Let's move on. Let's get some more ratings like we did for that national championship last year. The more ratings we can get, the more money you can get.
Got time for a couple questions here.
Coach, you mentioned that Angel, has a lot of experience, brings a lot of experience for your team. How would you evaluate her performance tonight? What did you see out there from her?
Well, they all got fatigued. Angel got fatigued early. Now, when you play teams like Missouri, who move a lot, shoot the three ball, or I should say when my teams play those types of teams, I always have bigs, and it's so hard for bigs to go out there and guard. And I thought Morrow and Angel maybe did it collectively as good as any bigs I've ever had. It's just hard. They have to move, they have to cut, they have to, come off screens, they gotta, shoot the gap, they gotta switch. They're basically guards out there defensively. And I thought the fatigue set in a couple of times, and she had every opportunity to get frustrated when she was missing those shots. But I kept telling Haley Van Lith, keep throwing it in there, keep throwing it in there, keep throwing it in there. She'll eventually make them. And then when she starts making them, then you guys are going to get some open looks out here. And yeah, Angel does what Angel does. She gets her own misses. She battles in there. But defending on the perimeter is, I think she'd tell you, those guards can have that. But I thought she and Morrow did fine.
Finish with Mike in the back.
Coach, talk about how well y'all are executing, finishing on the break, and how about that pretty tough charge that Poa took late in the game?
Listen, Poa is probably, I would guess she's probably taken the most charges of any kid I've coached since I've been here. Poa is, I just like Poa's game. I like her unselfishness. I think that she'll start, she won't start, it doesn't faze her. I think kids get caught up in starting. I said, you're going to get minutes. Just keep doing what you're doing. I need to give the bench more minutes. But in a game like this, with some of the freshmen, some of those kids on that bench, I'm not sure they were ready for that style of play. It was hard to convince me to give them minutes in this game because of the style of play. There will be games where those guys will get minutes that will help them improve. What was the first part of your question? We've got to do better. And I thought we did some things better in the third quarter especially. We don't have, when you look at our team, there's not an Alexis Morris or a Jalen Cherry out there that just has this blazing quickness and speed. But we're not slow either. We can push the ball up the floor with power. And that's what I'm trying to get them to do more of, is push the ball, push it, let's go, let's run. I thought Morrow and Angel started running the floor better in the second half.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.